Thanks for joining ArgoCast. I'm John Webb. This week, the University of Idaho was told to cut another $1 million from their budget. In response, President Scott Green announced the university will open up voluntary furloughs to eligible employees. The additional $1 million in cuts comes from a request from Governor Brad Little. He's asking all state agencies to reduce their budgets in fiscal year 2020 by 1% and 2% by fiscal year 2021. The university's fiscal year 2020 shortfall now adds up to $15 million. Green said the decision to move forward with voluntary furloughs comes following repeated suggestions from the community. Green said he and the majority of his cabinet will be taking 5 furlough days as well. The Inter-Fraternity Council at the University of Idaho has created a new task force in response to the death of a Washington State University freshman. The student passed away after a fraternity party November 12th. The new Fraternity Social Experience Task Force will work with students, staff, faculty, administrators, and student organizations to address and combat high-risk alcohol consumption and hazing. Members of the task force should be formalized before winter break and will consist of representatives from the IFC, Vandal Health Education, Moscow Police Department, Dean of Students Office, and the Counseling and Testing Center. IFC President James Trayford says the task force is a welcome measure. According to Engage Idaho, there are no current politically affiliated clubs on the University of Idaho campus. While clubs promoting activist causes exist, these groups do not align with specific political parties. Clubs such as the Young Democrats and Turning Point are sporadically active, but for these groups to be official, they would need to appoint a non-student advisor, among other requirements. Young Democrats President Zachary Bishop and Jesse Watson, who is active with Turning Point on a national level, are both concerned about the lack of active political groups on campus. Bishop said it's especially worrisome that in a conservative state that more conservative-leaning groups aren't organizing. In life news, a silky smooth jazz recital took place at the One World Cafe Sunday evening. Mitch Gibbs, a trumpet player and fourth-year UI student, brought together classmates from the university's jazz band, One Class, to perform his final jazz recital at the venue. The music played included original arrangements and compositions by Gibbs. A composition is an original piece of music, while an arrangement is a melody written by another artist that is tweaked by the performer. When Gibbs is writing his own compositions, he sits at the piano and sings along to the music. Doing this helps him find a melody he likes. He will then write it down and start to experiment with interesting chords to go along with it. Gibbs will be a teaching assistant next semester, and after that, he'll be going to graduate school. He hopes to one day make a living playing music. Earlier this month, Tori Kelly released the deluxe version of her latest album, Inspired by True Events. This album was Kelly's strongest to date. It had a wide variety of music, a strong vocal range, and a smooth progression to it. Once Nicole Hinberg, Life editor, heard about the deluxe version, she was excited to see what the new songs were. She said even though the 2 songs added to the album were strong and had a completely different sound to them, it left her wondering what's the point of releasing a deluxe album with only 2 extra songs. Hinberg says she understands diehard fans want to support the artist, but buying the same exact thing with only minutes of extra content on it seems a little ridiculous. She recommends waiting until the deluxe version comes out to purchase the album. In the meantime, get your music fix right when it comes out and save your money. In sports, Idaho played a close matchup against UC Davis after the first game in the Red Wolves Classic. The Vandals had a difficult time with their shots, finishing with a field goal percentage rate of 41.5%. However, the Vandals stayed consistent in their free throws, making 81%. The 64-65 loss to UC Davis gave the Vandals the motivation to come back in the second game of the away trip. The last game in Arkansas, Idaho played Arkansas State with their highest field goal percentage rate throughout the 3 games, being 52.5%. The past 3 games in Arkansas, the Vandals have shown a dominant free throw success rate of 80.2%. 68-82 was the final score in Arkansas. This week, Alexis Van Horn, social media manager and ArgoCast producer, wrote a story about color guard and how it's a sport. She says she's no less of an athlete than anyone else who takes the Kibbe Dome field. She has participated in this activity for 6 years now, and while many think dance, cheer, and color guard aren't sports, she's here to make that case otherwise. Color guard requires physical exertion. In order to improve, many participants exercise regularly, targeting muscle groups in the arms and legs and improving flexibility. This allows members to toss their equipment higher and perform more complicated moves. In order to perform in color guard, members must learn basic dance skills, marching skills, and ways to handle equipment. There are a variety of skills associated with each type of equipment. She says the efforts of her team, both past and present, are worthy of respect, attention, funding, and love. She says they love what they do and are passionate about their performances. Thanks for tuning in this week. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you right back here in December. Have a great break.